Welcome in, everybody. Brandon Vickery from Valpo Sports Info here with you. Glad to be joined by Valpo catcher Scott Capers as we look back at the spring break trip for the Crusaders. And Scott, before we get into that, let's talk about you offensively and your development. I mean, you think about it, you hit 196 as a freshman, and here you are at 352 this season. Just what's the progression been like for you at the plate?
It's been great. Just listening to Coach Walgamot and Coach Winter, just learning a lot about baseball and about how you should take every at bat by itself. And Coach Max also helped me a lot with that. Just working hard in the cages every day, just practicing every day. Just been a lot of work, honestly. So that's how I got where I am today. So.
I think catcher is a leadership position by default, and then now you add on top of that being a junior this year. How's it different being an upperclassman?
It's not much different, honestly. I just keep doing what I've been doing since I got here, catching-wise. Just been playing how I play and just leading by example is how I try to lead.
Well, when you think about the way this pitching staff's thrown, I don't think it's been up to its full potential yet this year. What are some things you're working on? How do you get this staff back on track?
Just keep working in the shed, honestly. I think we just need to keep going, have more games. It's really early. We've only played about 13, 14 games, so I think we have a lot to accomplish with the rest of the season.
Always early in the season, I think there's certainly some kinks to work out. Just when you look ahead here, what's the excitement like surrounding this team as you move toward your first season in a new conference?
Honestly, there's a lot of excitement. I think we have a great team. We've showed a lot at the beginning of the season. It's been hard getting outside and everything with the snow on the ground. So I think that when we start practicing and playing more games, we'll come around. I'm not worried about anything.
There he is, Scott Capers, the catcher for the Crusaders. And right now we shift gears and bring in the head coach of the Crusaders, Brian Schmack. And, Brian, the pitching staff we talked about with Scott, and you mentioned to me you're switching a few things up. What are some things that you're doing to try to turn things around for your pitching staff as a whole?
I just think mentally you're kind of giving them a fresh start. I think you get to a certain time and guys start to press and they're in a little bit of a rut, and you try to gain back the last few outings in this next one, and it doesn't go that way. Sometimes you just kind of have to start and kind of almost start over, clear your mind, and I think this break will be good here for a few days so we can just get back on track and just focus on what we can control, really.
Well, having Scott here, and we talked with him, and certainly his defense has been there from day one, but his hitting has really been a progression. You've had a lot of guys like that over the course of their careers with you, developing offensively. What have you seen from him in terms of his progression?
Yeah, it's been good, and I think we handed Scott the keys essentially day one and said, "Here, go," and that guys are going to struggle as freshmen because everything speeds up, and you're learning bunt plays and learning about new pitchers, and then just the grind every day of school and class and all that stuff. So for him to just be able to go out there and, like he said, just do his job and focus on what he can control, and he's putting in a heck of a lot of time in the cages, which is great, and it shows, and that's what it comes down to, just kind of giving him the plan and letting him work it.
And overall, especially early in the trip, the offense still clicking. Just where's your offense at right now? What have you seen from your hitters this season?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, a little bit of a surprise. I thought we would do pretty well, but we're just absolutely destroying the baseball, and it's good to see, and it's contagious because a lot of guys are starting to hit. And I think the good thing is, we haven't scored as many runs, but we're still hitting the ball hard. And that's going to continue, and those will start to fall. And I think once we, get the pitching on track and we start to put it together, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting time.
Up next, it's a 3-game series headed to Arkansas Pine Bluff. What should we expect this weekend?
Good competition. It's not a series we're taking lightly by any means. We want to get back on track, and again, we're just going to worry about ourselves, and that's just throwing strikes, making plays, and putting contact on the baseball. So, the recipe doesn't change. We just have to go out and execute it.
There he is, the head coach of the Crusaders, Brian Schmack. Once again, Valpo back in action on Friday, heading to Arkansas Pine Bluff. For all the latest news on Valpo baseball, check out valpoathletics.com.